is the 2010 Chevrolet Tahoe Z71 4x4 with the LTZ pack. This is the best SUV ever made. Well, technically not this one. This one's actually a salvage title. Any of them in this generation, and I mean the GMC Yukon, the Suburban, the GMC Sierra, the Silverado, the Escalade truck, the Avalanche. I don't care if you get the 4.8 liter, the 5.3 liter, the 6 liter, the 6.2 liter. They're all so good. They're all well known for going over 250,000 miles with nothing more than standard maintenance, as long as you don't beat the crap out of them. And that being said, you can still use these as real work trucks and get numbers like that. Yes, the current version is nicer, it's a little bit faster, and it's got the fancy new direct injection, but that's part of exactly why this is better. This is port injection, which means it cleans the top of the engine by itself. You're not gonna get lifter tap, you're not gonna get rod knock. All the problems that come from clogging the top of the motor with direct injection is not present on this generation of any of those General Motors vehicles. They're highly tunable. You got literally thousands of wheel options, hundreds, maybe thousands of tire options, parts and replacement parts and service mechanics for days and days and days. You've got tons of donor vehicles, you got tons on the used market. I mean, you see a ton of these because they sold well and they stay on the road. These are spectacular vehicles. The base architecture of this Chevrolet pushrod small block is just so unbreakable when it comes to performance per dollar. Yes, there are incredible motors that can put out more power just as reliably with less displacement, namely the Coyote. But you're talking double or triple the price per horsepower. And so as far as a value proposition from an off-the-shelf, do some tinkering and you've got a great vehicle that you're gonna love to drive, you just can't beat the LS platform. So why do I have this opinion and why did I purchase this on purpose? I hunted down this body style Tahoe with 4x4 and with this engine. Well, my previous employment was Texas Highway Patrol. I've chased tons of people in this exact platform in 2013, and then I also had a 2020. I preferred the 13. This body style, this engine, this transmission. They're just more robust, more reliable. This does have the 5.3. The only known issues with that 5.3 are the cylinder deactivation or active fuel management. For less than $100, you can get a plug-and-play OBD2 port tool to deactivate that, or you can do what I did on this one, contact a fella named Lou, Lou, as in Diablo Tuner, and get a custom 93 or 87 octane tune. So this has been tuned for 93 octane. It makes more power. It's a full second faster 0 to 60, which now puts it right in line with the current 5.3 powered Tahoes. And it also comes with a transmission tune, so it's no longer sluggish and it's no longer confused on which gear to go with, shifting up and down like these 6 speeds are kind of known to do. That's kind of the issue that people have with these. Just to clean it up a little bit more, I added the oil catch can, and then I also added a true cold air intake. It's insulated on the box, it's insulated on the pipe. It's not a ram intake, it's not a hot air intake, it's a true cold air intake that gets to eat air right off the nose of the truck. That, in addition to replacing the only restrictive part of the exhaust, which is that big mid muffler, other than, you know, the headers, and if you're gonna do headers, you might as well do other work. But if you just want something quick, you can swap that out with a more free-flowing mid muffler. This back here is straight through, and that's all I did pre-tune, and it is so much nicer with that and the tune put together. The next generation after this went to a direct injection only model. I'll drop a link in the description down below of SavageGeese's breakdown of direct injection versus port injection, so that you can really understand, if you don't already, the fact that direct injection has its benefits, but it comes at the cost of reliability, a great cost of reliability, to the point where some of these motors at 60, 50,000 miles, you have to start getting professional $1,000, $1,500 top-end cleaning done just to keep them running right. You don't have to do that with port injection. On the inside, we get a regular column shifter, a regular foot actuated parking brake, none of that pull button crap. We do have, with some models, you can have a power lift gate. It'll power close, it'll do it off the fob or the button. As you can see, about half of my production equipment is in here. And what I also love about this classic fob is I can, even with doors open, trunks open, it'll still remote start as long as the hood is not open. Even after it's remote started, I can unlock, I can close this back down. I can even separate my ignition key from the fob. Put it in the truck, the ignition's on, keys in, fob is separated. I can lock it, I can unlock it. Can't do any of that with the new stuff. They just won't let you. It's not safe. I don't know if that's true. That's what the lawyers are gonna tell everybody. But this thing has been an absolute workhorse with my prior employment and this current one. On the highway, even with the 93 octane performance-oriented tune, I can still regularly get 20 miles a gallon. That's with the 1.5 inch leveling kit and all-terrain tires. If you got a more street trim, this also has the 4x4 system, so you have a transfer case involved in that, even if you're in the two-wheel drive mode. So if you got a two-wheel drive, street tires, it's not lifted, it's not leveled, and you didn't do a performance-based tune, you could get 22, 24 miles on the highway. This one has 70,000 miles on it. I've driven some with almost 200,000 miles. It's built on a truck chassis, it's built on a truck frame, you've got nice tow ratings, you've got great interior capacity, and they're so cheap now that we're past the used car market, incredibly ridiculous spike that we saw during and just after COVID. You can get these with about 150 to 100,000 miles in really nice condition, LTZs with the leather, with the captain seats, with the rear entertainment, for less than $20,000, and it's probably got another 100,000 miles left in that vehicle. When your other option is to buy a brand new one that's equipped very similarly for over 75. If you're a math person, this is the easy option.